Welcome back to Right on the Money, the go-to resource for your financial decisions. Now, our guest today, Larry Lerner, owner and operator of Artist Business Management Group, and we've been talking about investor behavior, procrastination, the book that's coming out, and in fact, we were right in the middle of the story of Corey. I need to know how this ends.
Okay, I'm going to make you cry. Maybe.
Maybe.
Okay. Corey, who I had designed this amazing case for, he went AWOL on me. He procrastinated. I called him several more times, no response. He disappeared on me. Here's what happened. About 3 years later, I see that Corey has come in. He comes in and he, hi Corey, good to see you, what's happening? He says, well, I should have listened to you. The house is in foreclosure. I am declaring bankruptcy, and I'm sleeping on people's couches, and can you help me because I owe the IRS $250,000.
So that, and just to back up, so this was a situation where you had laid in front of Corey a solution that really had things all set up quite nicely.
It was what we call bulletproof.
Bulletproof.
He could have lived out the rest of his life living off of the life insurance and the RMDs.
And he was a younger man.
22 years old.
His
dad had really provided for him, okay? Now, you know, from what I understand, he told me that he developed a pretty bad gambling habit. So, as you well know, when you remove money from an inherited IRA and you're less than 59 and a half years old, not only do you pay regular income tax, you also pay a 10% penalty that is mandatory. And now, since he didn't file tax returns for the last few years, the interest and penalties are doubling and tripling the taxes that are owed.
Compounding on the wrong side of the equation.
Right. So now the question is, this should have never happened, correct? How do we avoid these things? As professionals, we can lead a horse to water, we can't make him drink.
You know, I think this is one of those scenarios where I think that unfortunately for Corey, there's a hard lesson here that he'll ponder, but maybe through the use of the book, we can help other clients, other people avoid a similar situation.
Right. My book basically is a collection of some pretty bad stories and some great solutions. And, you know, to coin it, maybe it's a don't let this happen to you, okay, but also coming up with some really great solutions on how young people can provide for a magnificent retirement.
Now, earlier in the last section, or our last segment, we talked about the 4 risks to retirement. And we talked about that very valuable thing, especially that the younger generation has, and that's time.
Absolutely. You don't need a tremendous amount of money to retire if you have time on your side, because we have this miracle called tax-free compound interest. So I've shown you before that if a 25-year-old puts away $400 a month, and they do it every month from age 25 until age 65, when they're at retirement age, they're actually going to have about $190,000 per year, every year for the rest of their life. It's a miracle.
Now, one of the questions that I have for you, so I know your practice, it is an amazing practice both on the tax side and the investment side, and that you work with a wide variety of clients. So do you see generationally differences in their approach to retirement?
Yes. The same common thread that I see is people that when they're in their 50s, they say, I wish I had started earlier. So now what I'm desperately trying to do is get to their kids and explain to their kids, okay, you just graduated college, you've got a great job. Don't just live for today. Put something away for tomorrow. If you put away small amounts of money religiously every single month, you are going to be a very, very wealthy man or woman. Now,
we've talked so far with the story of Corey, what we've talked about is really about procrastination and pushing off decisions. Now, in our next segment, we're going to talk more about investor behavior. So let's do that.
That's a very important one.
Absolutely. Let's do that right after the break. So after the break, we've got more with Larry. We're going to talk investor behavior, and unfortunately, we have another cautionary tale that we're going to discuss. So
it's in the book. Yes.
Absolutely. So that's coming up on Right on the Money.